In this episode of Playing Craig Dawson Up Front, the race for the Golden Boot goes down to the final game of the season. The race for Champions League football also goes right down to the wire. And can Craig bring home the Europa League trophy?
Let's go!
So, in the last episode, we made it into the League Cup final, where we beat Liverpool in what was probably the most dramatic fashion possible. But it's safe, and West Ham United have won the Bastard Milk Cup. We finished off the episode with us still fighting for top 4, whilst in a Europa League round of 16, against Bayer Leverkusen, and still in the FA Cup, where we took on Middlesbrough, just days after beating Liverpool. Everyone was absolutely knackered, so they all got a rest, apart from Craig Dawson, and he would proceed to win a penalty. He would step up to take it, and, of course, bagged his 26th goal of the season, as we went through with a 1-0 win. We would face Fulham in the quarter-finals, but before then, we had 2 league matches, sandwiched around our Europa League round of 16. First up, we had Arsenal, and, despite absolutely battering them, we would go 1-0 down, thanks to a goal from Alexander Lacazette. Kieran Tierney would then score one of the worst own goals you will ever see.
Oh my days!
And despite continuing to batter them, yes, surely, oh fucking hell, we would walk away with a draw. Although, it wasn't all bad, because the draw mathematically secured our safety in the Premier League. We then travelled to Turf Moor, and rather surprisingly, it wasn't 0-0, as Craig Dawson scored what was quite possibly goal of the season.
It's astonishing. It's absolutely world class.
Just hand him the Puskas Award now. Unfortunately though, Wout Weghorst would equalise, and we came away from Turf Moor with a 1-1 draw. The 2 draws were disappointing in our hunt for Champions League football, but the race definitely is still on. And, next up, we welcomed Bayer Leverkusen in the Europa League round of 16. Guten Tag, and welcome back to the Bastard Europa, where West Ham United are facing German opposition. What could possibly go wrong? Absolutely nothing, because we're already fucking winning, and the crowd are going absolutely fucking mental.
Yes. Come on.
Fucking get in there. Yes, brilliant interception. Come on, they just simply can't deal with Mavid Doyes' massive bastards at the moment. Oh, what a ball. Yes. Oh fucking hell, Craig, you absolute fucking idiot. That should be 2-0 for fuck's sake. Oh, go on then. Oh, this is lovely. Please. And the Czech Patrick Vieira gets his 2nd goal of the game, and it's raining potato salad here in Stratford. Fucking get in there, Jesus. But stop munching all the potato salad. Thomas is on a hat trick, for fuck's sake. You should be thinking these things through. At this point, we were comfortable, although, we really should have scored a 3rd goal. Oh fucking hell, come on. Just stick your foot through it, you stupid bastard. And, we made a huge mistake on the 70-minute mark. We have a lot of fixtures coming up, and, we need our star man, Craig Dawson, fresh and ready, so, we substituted him off for James Tompkins.
So you see, that's where the trouble began.
Substitution. That damn substitution. As a comfortable first leg lead, suddenly, became not as comfortable. Oh, for fuck's sake. How the fuck has he put that in from there? Thankfully, we could hold on to a 2-1 victory, which was a decent result to take to Germany. And, the second leg was a relatively cagey affair, with both sides not creating too many chances. That was until the 65th minute, where, we won a corner. Come on, one of you big bastards get on the end of this.
It's fucking Craig.
Oh, it's him again. Of course it's fucking him again. Big players step up on the biggest occasions, and that big bastard is the biggest player of them all. What a fucking header from the blue passport Batistuta. Now, you'd think we learned from our mistake of substituting him off in the previous leg, wouldn't you? Well, evidently fucking not. As soon as Craig went off, we lost complete control of the match, as Lenny managed to get himself on the score sheet. Oh no, lads, don't you even dare think about fucking throwing this away. Thankfully, they didn't even dare to think about fucking throwing it away, as Kurt Zouma was brought down in the box. And we won a penalty. Now, as Craig wasn't on the pitch, we were completely clueless as to what to do. So, Mavid Doyes figured, well, Andre Onana is pretty good at saving penalties, so, surely, he must also be pretty good at taking them. And, it's going to be the last thing that their keeper will be expecting. So, the decision was made with the utmost seriousness, and up he stepped. This can't be serious. Come on, you just simply have to score. You complete and utter fucking idiot, Mavid. Of course the Finnish Fraser Forster was going to say that. He's not finished. He's only 32. What? Who said that? This is one of our biggest games in recent history. We're 1 goal up, and he decides to give the goalkeeper the penalty. What is actually wrong with this bloke? It was an unfortunate miss, but I'm sure Andre will be ready to put himself forward again if he's required. And, it couldn't matter any less anyway, because we managed to hold on, and advance to the next round. It was a brilliant achievement, and the fans were absolutely ecstatic at the full-time whistle. Thank fuck that's finally over. I must have aged at least 37 years watching that. We would face the winner of Celtic against Galatasaray, and, after going through on penalties, we would make the trip to Turkey for the quarter-finals. But, before then, we had to play the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, where we had been drawn against Fulham, who, in this save, are still in the championship. We started quite well, although, Craig Dawson got absolutely found out, as Tosin Adarabioyo was the first defender in football history to figure out how to stop Craig Dawson, and that is to wallop the ball into your own net, to save Craig the hassle of doing it himself. Things would then go from bad to worse for Fulham, as Arjen Bowen would release an absolute thunder bastard from 25 yards.
Shit! Did you see that?
Now, this game was just 3 days after the Leverkusen match, and the tiredness in one or two players definitely showed. Andre Onana would spill the ball right into the path of Bobby Reed, who certainly read the situation very well, and had an easy tap in. Then in the 88th minute, Morten Thorsby's lack of experience playing at centre back definitely showed, as Bobby Reed would turn him inside out, and finish past Andre Onana. We were absolutely knackered, and extra time was the last thing we needed. Which is why Craig decided to slap his fat fucking noggin on it, to put us back ahead just 2 minutes into extra time. Unfortunately though, Thomas Souček would go off with an injury, and because we'd made all of our subs, we had to play the last 15 minutes with 10 men. We actually held on quite well, and Saeed bin Rama came close to scoring. Oh of fucking course we've hit the fucking woodwork. Unfortunately though, Kurt Zouma would stupidly bring down Bobby Reed in the box, and Fulham were awarded a penalty, which John Mikel Seri would step up to take, and score. One normal day at West Ham. Please just give me one normal day at West Ham. There would be no more goals, and the game was decided by penalties. Now, we were confident, especially after beating Liverpool in the League Cup final. We kept the same tactic of giving Craig the 5th penalty, and got the shootout underway. And, rather boringly, both sides scored their first 5 penalties. So, we went to sudden death. Oh come on, I can't take this much longer. This is absolutely nerve-wracking. The Arancini Alaba steps up. Of course he's hit the fucking woodwork. Oh no 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 no. Please. It can't end like this. It just simply cannot fucking end like this. Please, save it. It's over. It's fucking over. West Ham United's hopes of a quintuple are over. Brilliant. Absolutely fucking brilliant. It was disappointing to be knocked out, but there was a silver lining, as we could now focus all of our attention on trying to get a top 4 finish, and also, try and win the Europa League. We would face Leeds after an international break. Now, every single goal for Craig Dawson is an absolute piece of piss, but his 30th of the season was probably the easiest goal he's ever going to score. Morten Thorsby would then play a beautiful ball through to Renan Lodi, who would double the lead, and that was enough to secure the 3 points, which allowed us to keep applying pressure on Chelsea for 4th place. Next up, Galatasaray made the trip to Stratford for the quarter-finals of the Europa League. It was a huge occasion for the club, playing in a European quarter-final. Stratford was absolutely fucking rocking. The anticipation for the match was building, and this was only enhanced by fake Carlton once again rattling the entirety of Galatasaray Twitter, which unfortunately led to the population of rabbits in Turkey to plummet in a devastating manner. But, nevertheless, we were ready to get the match underway. Hello, and welcome back to the bastard Europa. Oh my fucking god, please. And we've scored a goal without even fucking touching the ball. Absolutely spot on analysis from you there, Jesus. Fucking get in there. The Merseyside Maldini carries it forward.
I've legged it.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, what a ball that is. Yes. And Arjen Bowen makes it 2-0 to West Ham.
Arjen Bowen! That is incredible!
Fucking get in there, Jesus. I think at this point, it was fair to say that they were getting absolutely stuffed. And it only got worse for our Turkish opposition, as James Tompkins decided to score with a slide tackle. Yes, what a fucking finish from the Basildon Van Basten.
You're joking. Not another one?
Yes, Brenda from Bristol, I can't fucking believe it either. We've only gone and made it 3-0. At this point, there were very few rabbits left in Istanbul that hadn't been chopped in half with a bread knife. Nobody could believe what we were witnessing here in Stratford. And we would continue to add insult to injury, as we would score a 4th goal, thanks to this wonderful run and finish by Alex Kral. Yes, and the Czech Ruud Hullet has surely only gone and sent us into the semi-finals. What a fucking finish that is. At this point, there was not a single rabbit left in the entirety of Istanbul, and I think it was safe to say that we will be heading to the semi-finals. Before we played the second leg though, we had to go to Anfield, where, despite putting in a decent effort, Liverpool would score an absolute screamer early in the second half, to put themselves ahead. And they would then score 2, quite frankly, unbelievably stupid goals, where Andre Onana would just decide to malfunction. Although, they just couldn't escape the inevitability of Craig, in the 92nd minute.
It's fucking Craig!
We then travelled to Turkey for the second leg. In the build-up to this game, all the talk in the media was about complacency, which Mavid Doyes quite frankly didn't give a shit about. He only bothered to make the trip to Turkey, so he could get a hair transplant. We made a ton of changes, and, despite getting absolutely battered, we came away with a 0-0 draw, which was enough to send us through to the semi-finals. Unfortunately for Mavid though, Boss Man absolutely butchered his hair transplant, and he is now officially bald. Despite that though, he was delighted to get through to the semi-finals, where we would face the side who, earlier on in the season, we defeated in the Betway Cup final. Lazio. But before then, we had 4 Premier League games, where we would face Tottenham, Watford, Crystal Palace, and Newcastle, and, realistically, we had to win all 4, to even stand a chance of still getting that 4th spot. So, how did we get on? Well, Spurs took an absolute battering, as we beat them 2-0, thanks to a brace from our young Bowen. We then welcomed Watford to Stratford, and Craig almost scored an outrageous overhead kick against his former side.
Shit! Did you see that?
Shortly after, he would get on the end of an Aaron Cresswell cross to put us 1-0 up, and Aaron was absolutely delighted to pick up an assist there. Then, because it's West Ham, we would hit the woodwork twice in the space of 15 seconds. Oh, you cannot be fucking serious. Come on. Yes. Oh, I cannot fucking take this anymore. Thomas Souček would then score his 19th goal of the season, and that was enough to secure the 3 points. We then travelled to Selhurst Park, and things definitely did not go to plan. Former West Ham player, Cheku Kouyaté, managed to put the Eagles a goal up. Edson Edouard would then pounce on a lapse of concentration, and slot the ball past Andre Onana. Now, at this point, with the Europa League semi-final just days away, Mavid Doys decided to wave the white flag on a top 4 finish, as he substituted off Craig Dawson, to rest him for the Europa. And, despite us literally giving up at this point, we actually started to see an improvement in our performance. Oh fucking hell. How have you managed to hit that straight at the keeper? Shortly after, Pablo Fornals, who was playing as a right wing back, would pop up from out of nowhere, to make it 2-1. We finally had a glimmer of hope, and, seeing as we had nothing to lose at this point, we decided to throw the absolute kitchen sink at it, and, it certainly paid off, as Morten Thorsby made a great run, and had a tap in to equalize. Now, at this point, a draw was completely useless, so we kept pushing, and, after some fantastic work from both Saeed Bin Rama and Aaron Cresswell, Joachim Anderson simply had no other option than to put the ball into his own net. Yes, we've done it. We've fucking done it. Chris handball has been fucking completed. It was a nervy last few minutes, but we managed to hold on to the 3 points. We took this momentum into St James's Park, and not only was this a big game in our race for top 4, but also, it was a huge game in the race for the Golden Boot, as both Craig Dawson and Callum Wilson were tied on 19 goals. So, how did we do? Well, we only went and made it 4 wins from 4.
4? That's insane.
It certainly is. Thanks to this strike from Aaron Cresswell, who was absolutely delighted to get on the score sheet. And Nikola Vlasic would volley home the 2nd goal of the game, which was enough to earn the 3 points. Unfortunately for us though, Chelsea also kept picking up points, and, although it's unlikely, a top 4 finish is still not impossible. And, just before heading into our Europa League semi-final, Mavid Doys was presented with the Premier League Manager of the Month award, just nicking it ahead of Frank Lampard. Yeah, well, obviously it's incredibly disappointing that I didn't win. I guess you could say, it's a real hammer blow. No, but seriously, no amount of Manager of the Month awards will change the fact that Mavid Doys is bold. Lol. So, the time had come. Lazio in the semi-finals of the Europa League. Not only is this a big fixture, in a big occasion, but there's also a big rivalry between Maurizio Sarri and Mavid Doys. Mavid may have got the better of Maurizio in the Betway Cup final, but when the two met in the group stages of this competition, it was the Italian who had the bragging rights. Many months later, the feud would yet again continue, going into the first leg of this Europa League semi-final. Ciao, and welcome back to the Bastard Europa League, where West Ham United are looking to book a place in the final. Oh my god, 17 minutes. It's only taken us 17 fucking minutes to go in the lead here in Rome. Fucking get in there, Jesus, you absolute beauty. Come on, Lazio are here for the taking. Yes. Oh, you absolute fucking idiot. Anywhere but there, and you score. For fuck's sake. The Romford Roberto Carlos lines up an almighty Rory Delap special. Oh, that's outstanding from Craig. Absolutely fucking outstanding.
So...
Jesus is absolutely loving life here in Rome. What an incredibly well-worked routine. Fucking get in there. No, come on. Let's not throw this away now. Let's not undo our fantastic start to this match. Yes. What an absolutely pathetic effort from the Italian Dannyings. Oh, great plays an inch perfect through ball. Come on. Yes. It's just going from bad to worse here for Lazio. 2-0 down, and they are about to see Craig step up to take a penalty. Or, in other words, they are 3-0 down. Yes. Was there ever any fucking doubt?
The blue passport Batistuta!
Jesus, you're absolutely killing it today. Oh, we're in dreamland. Absolute dreamland. I'm not even concerned at the fact we're 3-0 up. Normally everybody associated with the club would absolutely shit themselves at the mere thought of it, yes. What was that? What the fuck was that? A proper centre forward, such as Craig, would have absolutely buried that with the utmost conviction. Oh, I'll tell you what, Lazio just can't handle these long throws here. Oh, what a ball. Yes. And the Cockney Cafu has only gone and made it 4-0 to West Ham United. We're running absolutely fucking riot here in Rome. Oh, and there appears to be some trouble in the manager's dugout here.
You fucking you bloody.
Come on, ref. Just hurry up and put them out of their misery. And there we have it. West Ham come away from this first leg of the Europa League semi-final with a 4-goal advantage. Unfortunately, the menthol Mark Hughes is just simply no match for Mavid Doyes' massive bastards. Absolute piece of piss. We are fucking massive. Come on, you Irons.
Well, that was about as convincing as you're ever gonna get. Mavid Doyes' mind games seemed to have really got the better of Maurizio Sarri. Now, despite having our eyes on potentially winning the Europa League, we still had to take the league seriously in case we don't win the Europa, and we had to take on Brentford just days before the second leg, and a win here was absolutely vital if we had a chance of a top 4 finish. And only 2 things of any real note happened in the entirety of the 90 minutes. The first was this free kick from Craig Dawson, which was just inches from going in. The second, was this goal from Yohan Wissa in the 86th minute, which was the only goal of the game.
Oh fucking hell. Well, I guess that's goodbye to a top 4 finish. For fuck's sake. We better win that bastard Europa now.
Although it's not impossible, it's very unlikely we'd catch Chelsea from this position, even despite Roy Keane's infectious positivity. So, all the attention now turns to the second leg of the semi-final, where hopefully, we don't have the biggest collapse of all mankind.
Hello, and welcome back to the bastard Europa. I'll be honest, I've got my feet up for this one. I mean, what was the point in even turning up? We all know what the outcome is gonna be. Why bother wasting everybody's time? Ah, shit. Yeah, that's probably just about the worst possible start we could have possibly hoped for. Oh well, we're literally still 3 goals ahead. There's not a chance in hell that we don't go through here. Lads, what the fuck are you doing? We've hardly conceded a set piece all season. You've got an average height between you of about 6'12", and you've conceded from a set piece twice in 25 minutes. Fucking sort it out. How are we making such hard work of such a comfortable lead? Unfucking believable. Oh lads, this is absolutely comical defending. What the actual fuck are we playing at? We're fucking 3-0 down before half time. Oh my god, no. It's over for us, isn't it? We're going to be an absolute laughing stock. We're going to end up on those football images that precede unfortunate events Twitter accounts.
Normally, West Ham fans lose their shit when they go 3-0 up, but this time, it's the other way round. Lazio kept coming forward in an attempt to equalize, whereas West Ham were hanging on for dear life, just hoping to book their place in the final.
Oh, we're close. We're so close. Please, referee, where's your whistle? Where's your bastard whistle? And there it is. Oh, a referee's whistle has never sounded so beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, West Ham United will be heading into the bastard Europa League final.
So, there it was. A place booked in the final for West Ham, where we will face Rangers, which is going to be absolute carnage. But before then, we took on Aston Villa, and, well, it was a bit of a nothing game, as it was probably not gonna matter, as all Chelsea needed to do was get 1 more point to secure top 4. That didn't demotivate Mavid Doyes' men though, despite this awful miss from Craig.
How have you managed to hit the fucking post from there?
We would go 1-0 up, thanks to Pablo Fornals finishing from close range. Unfortunately though, Bertrand Traoré would equalize late on, as he would chip Andre Onana, however, much like he did against Aston Villa earlier on this season. Craig would run to the near post to win the match.
Craig is the most inevitable player on the fucking planet.
And this would be the 3rd time he's scored a late winner for us this season. Unfortunately for us though, an already relegated bottom of the Premier League Brighton did everything in their power to make sure they ruined our day by getting 2 players sent off to make sure we could no longer mathematically get top 4. Now, we had one last game before the Europa League final, which was Man United at home, and it was significant for a number of reasons. The first is that it will be Mark Noble's final Premier League match, and also his final home match, so he's absolutely getting a start. The second reason is that Craig Dawson is 2 goals behind Callum Wilson for the Golden Boot, so we need to get Craig some goals. And the third, and surely most important, is that Ralph Ragnick questioned the dog in Mavid Doyes. How dare he? How fucking dare he? So, we were out for blood, but we also had a game plan. The result of this game is completely irrelevant, so we went as attacking as physically possible, without being completely stupid. The goal here is for Craig to win the Golden Boot. To do so, he needs at least 3 goals, and we have to hope that Mohamed Salah and Callum Wilson don't score either. We could concede 19 goals like Astra Gugu for all I care, as long as Craig scores 3, then that'll absolutely do for us. So, how did it go? Well, thankfully Man United were taking this game almost as seriously as we were, and we certainly got off to the perfect start, as Craig would start the match as he meant to go on, by getting himself on the score sheet. We would then win a corner, thanks to this unbelievable piece of goalkeeping from Dean Henderson. And Craig would do what he does best.
Yes, he's done it. He's tied for goals in the Golden Boot race. Come on, Craig. One more goal. You just need one more fucking goal.
Man United just couldn't deal with Alexander Kollarov's set pieces, as Craig would intentionally miss his header, to make sure Mark Noble had an easy tap-in on his last home game for the club, that he's made 550 appearances for.
No, it should be illegal to disallow this goal. Don't even fucking think about it, please. Oh my god. He's done it! He's fucking done it! The Cockney Cruyff has only gone and scored on his final game in the Barclays. This is beautiful. Absolutely fucking beautiful.
We would then score what could only be described as the most West Ham goal possible, as Aaron Cresswell would finish from close range, after hitting the woodwork twice. And he was absolutely delighted to get on the score sheet. You're probably thinking, this is too good to be true, and yes, it certainly was, as Victor Lindelof would somehow finish from close range to pull a goal back. However, we couldn't care any less. We still need Craig to get at least another goal, and he did just that.
Yes, come on Saeed, whip this in. Oh, he's spilt it. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to your brand spanking new Barclays Golden Boot winner.
Well, at least that's what we were thinking anyway. Right after Man United got another goal back, we checked how the scores were going in the other games, and, well, Callum Wilson had also got on the score sheet, meaning him and Craig Dawson were tied on 23, which was okay, but Craig needed another goal to secure it. So, he couldn't do it, could he?
Come on, whip this in. Okay, corner. Come on Craig, score this, and the Golden Boot is yours. Full time? You can't blow for full time there. This is a clear goal scoring opportunity for Craig. Oh, what a surprise. What a fucking corrupt league this is.
Thankfully though, Callum Wilson also didn't score again, meaning Craig Dawson has won the fucking Barclays Golden Boot award. Well, he's sharing it. Well no, he's technically not even won it because Callum Wilson would win it based on minutes per goal, but that doesn't fucking matter. No player in the Barclays has scored more goals than Big Craig Dawson this season. That is an undeniable fact. Now that Craig was done conquering England, it's time that Craig conquered the whole of Europe, as we would take on Rangers in the final of the Bastard Europa.
Hi, your wee shats, and welcome to the final of the Bastard Europa League. Good God, is anybody else nervous? I'll tell you what, no matter what happens here, it's been an unbelievable season, but we're not satisfied yet. Everything we've done this season comes down to this very match. Every goal, assist, tackle, save, every single bastard goal from Craig Dawson has led us to this very moment. Please, West Ham, just do the business and bring back this bastard trophy. No way. Absolutely no fucking way. 2 minutes. It's only taken this bastard 2 fucking minutes.
The blue passport Batistuta!
Fucking get in there, Jesus, you absolute beauty. Come on, let's really take the game to them now. Yes, come on Craig, get that. You know what Craig, unlucky, who am I to question a man with 37 goals this season? The Cockney Cazorla plays it forward. Yes. Oh yes, of fucking course we've yet again hit the fucking woodwork. Every game. It's not even an exaggeration to say it's every game at this point, because it literally is. Unfucking believable. Oh Mavid Doys, you are nothing, you are a fool, and you are a waste of time. Why would you not leave any players back from a set piece, in a European final? Yes, how has the temperamental Timu Pukki not fucking scored that? Pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic. Ian Bowen whips it in. Oh fucking hell Craig, come on. We need you here. This is far too close for my liking. Come on, please, just get another goal, to make this a bit more comfortable. Yes, there we go. Come on, let's take advantage of this. Yes, and Ian Bowen doubles the lead for West Ham United.
Ian Bowen! That is incredible!
Fucking get in there, Jesus, you absolute beauty. Oh, surely that's it. Surely they can't come back from this. Surely, the trophy is ours. Oh my god, what are they doing? What the actual fuck are they doing? You can't mess around with this tippy-tappy nonsense when Craig is about.
Golasso!
Absolutely spot on from you there, Jesus. Oh, what was I worried about? This is a piece of piss. An absolute fucking piece of piss.
Clearly, Rangers were no match for Mavid Doys' massive bastards, and, with 20 minutes to go, we would bring on Mark Noble, for his final match of professional football, and what an occasion to do it on.
The Merseyside Maldini assesses his options. Ian Bowen whips it in. Oh my god, referee, you have to give that. You have to fucking give that. Yes, get in. Fucking get in there.
Now, despite Craig being an absolute fucking goal machine, and despite being on a hat trick, there was just absolutely no way that Mark Noble wouldn't take this penalty.
Come on Mark, please just fucking convert this. Beautiful, just beautiful. What a moment, what a man, what a career, what a send-off. Even Jesus is absolutely speechless.
There was not a dry eye in the room. Now, even though Craig let Mark Noble take the penalty, he was still absolutely desperate to get his hat trick.
Come on, show no mercy. Let's get another goal here.
It's fucking Craig!
And it's fucking 5-0. 5. It's fucking 5-0. The GOAT debate is finally settled. Ladies and gentlemen, the unrivaled greatest footballer of all time. It's fucking Craig.
It's obvious the game was absolutely done at this point, so we ended the match with a front four of Craig Dawson, Mark Noble, James Tompkins, and David Martin, which was good enough to secure the win and a European trophy for West Ham United.
Come on ref, I think that'll do. I think that'll absolutely do. And there we go. West Ham United have completed the treble, the Betway Cup, the League Cup, and now the best at Europa.
So, there we have it. Craig would end his first season playing as a centre forward, with 40 goals, and 5 assists, in 62 appearances, and with 3 trophies. Thank you for watching this episode of Craig Dawson Up Front. Now, all you have to do, is leave a like, comment, and listen to my good friend Jesus Christ. We are fucking massive. Come on you irons.
Subscribe to the West Ham Clips YouTube channel.
This can now be placed in your bag.
Unexpected item in bagging area. Remove this item before continuing.